Hello everyone, Clint here. I hope everybody is doing well today. Today I'm going to talk about watches and specifically voice assistants in watches. Today I have the Fossil Gen 6 and the Galaxy Watch 4 Classic. I think a lot of us can attest to the fact that we all lamented the fact that Google Assistant did not come on the Galaxy Watch 4, even though it was going to be Wear OS. I know I was really excited for it. God bless Bixby, but it didn't really work all that well on my Galaxy Watch 3, so I was looking forward to the the Google Assistant coming to the watch. But of course, we know it didn't come to the watch, and maybe it'll come, maybe it won't come. It just depends. We're still waiting for it. What I want to do is a comparison on Bixby on the Galaxy Watch and Google Assistant on the Gen 6 Fossil to see if we're really missing anything, or if I personally am missing anything in my daily life that I use. And one of the things I like about the smartwatches is the voice assistant. I use it all the time. And I just kind of want to go through some of the stuff that I use probably on a daily basis and see how well they work compared to. So let's get it started here. Let's start with something simple like, what time is it? And looky there. So took Bixby a little bit to get it, and it popped right up on here, so that's pretty good. So that's good. Another thing I want to use all the time. What's the weather like today? All right, look at there. So on Google Assistant, it just gave us the actual weather, and here it gave us what the weather is going to be like today. So I guess you make a decision which was the actual question that I answered. What's the weather like today? So then it gives me the whole thing, and it gives me it by hour. So I think Bixby did a better job on that particular event. So let's try something a little different. What's the weather in Chicago? All right. Again, same thing, gives me just what the current weather is here, but then gives me actually a small craft advisory, which I guess that's a thing in Chicago since there's a giant lake there. And let's see, then it gives me the weather highs and lows for the day, and then again, it gives you the entire thing. So it gives you a lot more information on Bixby than it does here on Google Assistant, so that's good. Let's try some watch control, like what I use it for all the time. Let's see, set timer for 10 seconds. There we go, 10 seconds right there. And Google Wear OS kind of doesn't show the timer, which I always think is kind of weird, but as you can tell, it made it. And now we are good to go. So that was good. Bixby had no problem with that. Google Assistant had no problem with that. Let's see some more control. Another one you might use a lot here. Set brightness to 50%. All right. So now, big difference here. As you can tell, this thought it was a home control. Google Assistant did. This actually controlled the brightness on the watch itself. Set brightness to 100%. There you go. See, now you can see how much brighter that is. So this thought I was talking about home control, and Bixby knew I was talking about the actual watch setting. Well, that's pretty cool. So something to think about. Another thing is, let's see, let's try translation. Oops. And of course, we got a crash there. What the heck's going on? No, it didn't crash. What's going on here? I don't know what's going on here. Let's try that again. Where is the bathroom in Spanish? And that one popped up a lot faster. ¿Dónde está el baño? And let's see, where's the bathroom in Spanish? And ¿Dónde está el baño? So, it does translation just as well, which can be handy depending where you're at. That's pretty good. Let's see what the next one is here. Let's see. Let's ask it general questions, which well, no. Let's stick with something I use all the time here. Remind me in 1 minute to stop videoing. There we go. Got a reminder. And this says it can't set a timer less than 3 minutes away, so I've started a timer instead. Oh, looky there. That's pretty smart. Good job, Google. I like that. This obviously uses Google Reminders, and I'm sorry, Samsung Reminders app, and it will ding us up here shortly, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Next one I use all the time is, let's see here. Add new event to my calendar. Whoa, look at that. Got a crash here. Woohoo. All right, then. Let's see here. Crashing on Wear OS. Shocker. Shocker, shocker. Add new event to my calendar. Tomorrow at 4:30. Hot dogs. No, there you go. It will walk you through it on there. So let's see what it'll do here. They have a different order, so I couldn't really, so it's really not useful to do them at the same time. Set new calendar event. Hot dogs. Tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. and crash. So this happens a lot with Google Assistant. So we made it through on the Bixby, but we couldn't get that all the way through. I'm not saying that will happen every time, or if it's specifically the Gen 6 that has this problem, but I do see that problem with Google Assistant and Wear OS 2 for sure. Hopefully, if it comes to Wear OS 3.0, it is a lot better. So that's not too great. But let's try some general questions. Who is the President of the United States? Who is the President of the United States? And that's obviously something Bixby cannot do. And Bixby's never going to be able to do that. I don't think. It's just not set up for that. Why Google is Google. I mean, it has the information for everything. So, you know, it's Google. It gets it all. Let's try something a little bit more, it's current. Let's see if we can do something historic, like, let's see here. When was the last hurricane in the United States? Bixby doesn't know that, and Google crashed. Let's try again. When was the last hurricane in the United States? What does that even mean? View images. Nope, not too great. Can't reach the phone now. Oh man, she's really the watch is really showing off its buggy skills here. And Bixby might not know a lot, but it seems to be working pretty much every single time. So it's good for Bixby. Let's see what else do I always do here. One of the things I do a lot with my watches is control my smart home. So I have my smart home set up in both Google and Apple HomeKit. That way I can interchange each of the devices and it still works pretty good. One thing that I lament about I guess you have to have all your stuff in Samsung's ecosystem, so you have to use smart things if you want Bixby to work. But I will tell you right now, it does work just perfectly fine. I don't have a light in here that's actually connected on in the studio on control, but you can control your home on this here. just fine as long as you've integrated it with SmartThings. While this one here, you don't have to at all. You can just use the Google system like normal, and I do use it all the time. Turn off all the lights. And it's going to go back through and turn off all the lights for me. 13 lights I've set up. Let's see. Turn off all the lights. Not all lights are responding, but I'm turning off some, and then it actually will list you the ones that it took off. So I have associated a lot of my lights, a lot of my smart home stuff with Samsung SmartThings, because it does work, and I wear this watch all the darn time, so I needed to work for that particular event. But it's a little bit smoother, I think, in actually having it in Google Assistant specifically. So that's one thing. I'd really be curious to know what you all use your voice assistant for. Like I said, I use mine for opening apps. Let's see if we can do that. Do I even have any apps in the Gen 6? I do maybe use it every once in a while to open apps. Open Keep Notes. And bam, can't open that here. Couldn't connect to the phone there. Open Keep Notes. And as you can tell there, not great either. For some reason, this guy is just not happy, even though it's perfectly connected to the phone. And that function doesn't work at all on Bixby. So that's a bummer. Can't open apps, which would be very useful. You can send text messages. However, you have to use, again, the Samsung messages for the Galaxy Watch 4, while this one will use the Google messages. I don't use Samsung messages, so I never use this through voice, but I'd really like to know what everybody else uses their voice assistant for on their watch. I do use it a lot, but it's for very basic stuff. So Samsung Bixby has been working pretty well for me. One of the things I don't like about it is you have to press and hold. You got to press and hold that button. And as soon as you let off of it, it will stop. And so if you can't just click it and then just let it go. So that's kind of a bummer. Why the Google Assistant one, you just press it, and as soon as it vibrates, it's going to start collecting all the information that you're saying and do its thing. Yep, there you go. They both can be activated by voice if you want to. Hi, Bixby. And this works really good on the Samsung watch. I don't know what your guys' point, but it works really well. I just don't talk to my watch very much. It's not like my phone where I'll use that hot word all the time. Okay, Google. Now, I don't actually have this turned on here. Okay, Google. Yeah, the only setting you really have for that in Google is in personalization. You can go to Assistant Access, and it's press and hold the power button for assistants. And that's pretty much it. The whole OK Google hot word does not work very well. Even when they had it working, it didn't work very well, but it works really well on the Samsung watch. So anyways, let me know in the comments what you guys use the voice assistant for. I wouldn't mind hearing. Maybe I should be using it more often, but right now I pretty much use it for reminders and timers, and that's about it, really. And some voice control for the home. That's about it, because it doesn't integrate into Google's Google system, so I can't add anything to my Google Keep lists like you can with the Google Assistant, which is extremely handy if you want to add something to your shopping list and stuff. So I usually just have to use my Google Home for that, or I have to pull out my watch. But those are the main things I use the watch for. So I'd be curious to see what you got. Anyways, thanks for staying to the end, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.